would define Chicago hip hop as the perfect mix of all the hip hop elements.
There's the boom bap heads, and there's the trap and drill, and there's the funk, and there's the jazz, and there's all the different scenes that coexist. They don't always cross-pollinate.
Those elements have sort of split off, and they remain in sort of their different sub-communities. And in some ways, we do have that here, but I feel like in Chicago hip-hop, there's a lot more of like coming together and building through all those elements.
We're very representative of the diversity in our city with 77 communities and all of the different nuances. When you throw Chicago hip-hop in the pot, that's what you get, something that you can't define or put in a box.
Sometimes it is hard, sometimes it is thoughtful, sometimes it's smooth, like jazz and the blues.
Too seldom Chicago gets overlooked. You know, there's not an easily definable scene like LA Gangster or the early playground sounds of the Bronx or Hotlanta, but there's an ethos and there are musical similarities.
At least in the MC aspect, Chicago, there is no dominant sound. So you never know, you might get the boom bap, you might get the West Coast, then you might get the soul samples.
You're a different sound if you're in the south side of the city, you're a different sound if you're in the west side of the city, you're a different sound if you're on the north side of the city, and it all comes together to be Chicago.
And to me, Chicago hip hop means to be able to pursue anything that you would like to pursue and to come out of spaces that may not be the safest. And I grew up listening to people like Do or Die from the west side or Common from the south side and a Kanye. And with that being said, it's three different stories being told and within one place, and it shows the diversity of that place.
Chicago hip hop, to me, has always had to stay underground for the longest time. So doing that, it's kept the spirit kind of raw.
Many people that I know in the community felt like when they found hip hop in the city of Chicago, it became their space where they had family, where they were able to grow and find themselves in deeper ways.
Hip hop came into my life and made it more diverse. So I wasn't just hanging out with kids in my own block or neighborhood, but different neighborhoods in different sections of the city.
For me, it's always been a center point and a foundation for community. I mean, the people that I'm involved with in Chicago hip hop are my family, and we're an extended family that goes across the city.
I think Chicago knows its history, and I think Chicago knows and loves the community. And I find that inspiring.
From a philanthropic standpoint, we're very unique because we have Common's Foundation here, we have Kanye's Foundation here, we now have Chance's Foundation, Saba has a foundation, Lupe has a foundation. So we are really rooted in the hip-hop consciousness, which stands and is rooted in making the community better than we found it.
Hip-hop is, I would say, a tool used today for expression to go into rooted problems. For example, appropriation. When you see someone on TV doing a hip-hop form or hip-hop style or hip-hop movements, and it's being applauded, but the history isn't there, the foundation isn't there, it's being taken away from a community that's worked very hard to push it and make it into something.
Most of what people know and understand about hip hop has been sort of funneled through mass media, through television, through Hollywood and MTV, etc. In Chicago, that grassroots underground flavor is still alive and present today, and that people don't realize it is about community and a lot of positive, healthy values that we don't necessarily find in the commercial arena as much.
I would define Chicago hip hop as open-minded, soulful, conscious, and revolutionary.
And just the essence of the culture is so pure in Chicago because for so long there was so much of a lack of industry here that we were forced to not be commercial and stick to the authentic practices of hip hop. So to me, hip hop in Chicago just represents the core of what hip hop is supposed to be. We've got a great community that supports the art. We've got a variety of styles and talent. So to me, Chicago hip hop is everything hip hop.